Old secrets from the Mediterranean reveal a better, healthier whole grain bread dough. From my kitchen in the Midwest of Iowa, my name is Richard. I want to share with you a few secrets in preparing and baking whole grain bread, especially sourdough. Everybody loves buns, rolls, especially pizza. I'm going to show you an easier and better way to prepare these products, which, by the way, makes it much easier to digest and is more satisfying. Here are two samples that I've prepared earlier. Both are whole grain sourdough samples. This one is a traditionally made, pretty much what you would expect. A firm and heartier, heavier bread. It's okay for field work. And here's my non-traditional sample. As you can see, it's lighter and softer. And you'll have to take my word for it. It's great tasting. I haven't met anyone yet that has given me anything less than a perfect score on this bread in any form that it takes. So I'm obligated to pass it on. Let me show you how to prepare this dough without sticking to your hands and everything else. I'll start with 2 parts flour with 1 part water. Add your starter. As you can see, my starter is a little on the thin side. Mix it with a stick to the point it starts to hold form and has no more dry or wet spots in it. That's it. Add a little flour or sprinkle some water if you need to adjust it. Just enough to firm it up and no more. Keep your hands wet if you prefer using your hands. The ratio of flour to water is a little less than 2 to 1, depending on how thick your starter is. Working with whole ancient grains, you'll want a well-hydrated dough culture. It's better than yeast. That's a certainty. If you choose sourdough, do not add the salt or the oil in the beginning. It works against the culturing process. Salt and oil is it's a preservative. Good whole grain dough should be stickier than flypaper. It does take a little longer to hydrate and needs to be well hydrated to bake in the light texture of bread that I showed you earlier. For now, we want it rough and sticky. This is the initial hydration period. Just let it sit for 20 minutes or so. I like grains like spelt, barley, rye. These are the ancient grains that have a lot more flavor to them than modern wheat. We like preparing a multigrain dough, like with 20% can be 00 wheat flour. That's with a 12% protein content. You can even soak the whole grains and start to sprout them. Then grind them into a paste and mix it with your dry flour. Either way, you'll come out ahead on this. After 20 minutes, the dough should be hydrated enough to work it smooth into a dough ball by adding oil to your hand and then just working it in. I like avocado or ghee, which has a nice buttery taste. See, no stick. It only takes a few minutes. When it starts to get really sticky again, then it's ready to cover and rise. Adding the oil in the beginning not only retards the sourdough, but also retards the hydration process. This is not good. The dough should be well hydrated to be soft and light in texture, like I showed you, especially for whole grains. Just let it sit for a few hours or longer if the temperatures are cooler in your kitchen. Either case, you'll want the dough to show a significant increase in size and before it reaches its maximum expansion period, which lasts less than an hour. Not long after this period, the dough will flatline, and unfortunately, there's no bringing it back from the dead. Move the dough to the fridge before it reaches its maximum expansion period. Think of it as your horses galloping, and now it's time to rein them back before they burn out. We do this by lowering the temperature or baking the dough. My favorite herb to use is flannel, rosemary, of course sesame. The herbs actually help it from sticking and give it the crust a great flavor. I'm going to select a sample for the oven now. Good for 4 days, in a cold fridge even longer. Freeze it if you want to make it last for a month or so. This is the time to add the salt also. Pizza ovens work really great for small bread products like these. Toaster ovens are okay, just keep them maxed out. We want temperatures up close to 500 Fahrenheit. Gluten-free? Well, that's a marketing term for you. The term has been interpreted as a good thing for everyone. However, that's not really the source of the problem. The problem comes in when you invite all three kings to the same table. That's gluten, your sugar, and yeast. This doesn't solve anybody's health issues. Bread becomes more difficult to digest when you add sugar and yeast. And I think that it's becoming obvious for most of the people out there now. The more you add, the worse it gets. You may want to know, commercial wheat has little or no nutrition. It's almost sterile. Even the bugs really don't like it much. It's been modified for such a long time now for the purpose of growing fast in climates where it would normally not grow. It's a healthier choice to stay with the ancient grains. I hope you're enjoying my field report on making sourdough bread even better. Something good for everyone. Until the next time.